This show is going to be containing a lot of politics. You men who is listening to the Blue Sky View online radio to be attentive. Get attentive because we'll be hosting Professor Patrick Lumumba, all there from Kenya. This political show is going to be so enjoyable. You understand? You mean, whoever you are, don't miss this political show. Because I got a professor from Kenya called Professor Patrick Lumumba is with us here in the house today. So guys, get prepared and bring the massive political arena here on the Blue Sky View online radio. Kampala. Right, but we're gonna have some opening music which can open up this show, because it's a sensitive show. Okay, this is a sensitive show. Let's open up with this one, alright?
When the going gets tough, the tough must get going. Especially when leaders become misleaders and mentors become tormentors. When freedom of expression becomes a target of suppression, opposition becomes our position. Nayenga temanyi munyonyi nawe kukumenyese abantu buli watunula bayongo bende byebasubiranga byawukana ku bye bana abaana babo ne babyetama banyigirizibwa ne babulako gye balomba baabuwe kane gye wandibadde lopera nayo kibeera kizibu okufunayo obwenkanya sosigala wansi esibe kusuula imukawo mangu tambule musiteri kyangu lugendo luwambu situka tugende mu maaso. Wabula zetenzude enchuka joyo yakati eri mikono gyo mwenyini kubanga oyo kwalina mwesubi naye mu mazima ensubi yalitadde mu gwesebo kalego buli wonoogwayimuka otamulirewo ebisoto byekubireko mu kkubo kubanga buli lwonoogwa nolakati yokwama amaanyi eno balabira ku gwesebo obukubi bwoyitamu bangi bwe bayitamu naye tubeereza mu bwe tutyo ne tumalaku omuliro gutwakira mu gukira gwe tuyitamu bwe buli wongwa kuba kusituka kale imuka tutambule mamanyi naye topo watutambule olugendo luwanvu bwe tulemerako tutuuka imuka tutambule emala mamanyi naye topo watugende tutambule amaziga gokaba gakabe nga butambula. Kubagiza muganda wange kugamba situkirabo tulina omulimu munene kwa kuzimba Uganda eryesimiza abalidabo batosobola kudduka wakiringo tambula bo batosobola kutambula wakiringo yabula bo batosobola kwabula wakiringa wewalula naye kyonna kyekiri sikabangomuwemba tewali mirembe gye bagenda kuleetera waka ku sosiyo oba teri mu mativosano kangule ku voisiyo sigala ku kosiyo naye manya raisiyo tolema kukolerera Uganda bwezimba gwangalyo wadde nga bosiwo teyali wa choice yo kwezanya atyo kuba lino gwangalyo imuka tutambule mamanyi naye topo watugende oluwambu bwe tulemerako tutuuka mamanyi naye topo watugende wakyali wange kabagakabe nga butambula
That's what we mean when we're here in the Blue Sky View online radio. That's what we mean. So today, I told you it's going to be a political island here in the Blue Sky View online radio Kampala. We'll be hosting Patrick Lumumba from Kenya, giving us some analysis about politics. How is the politics being handled here in Africa? So, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to wake up and clap for Patrick Lumumba. We're welcoming him on the Blue Sky View online radio Kampala.
I hear President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni arguing ever so eloquently that Uganda, given our history, can only survive on the basis of a no-party system. But I hear the West telling him equally eloquently and a little bit more forcefully that we do not agree with you. We do not agree with you, and your safety not only requires but demands that you must reintroduce multi-party politics. So Yoweri Kaguta Museveni concedes. And he is not the only one who is conceding. Everywhere we are conceding. Ultimately, all the countries now have plural party politics. And that is where the commercialization of politics begins. That is where money enters into the political arena. That is where we begin to eliminate ideas from politics, and we now ask ourselves, who is the leader? And now that is the time when people get into political office for the purpose of feathering their nests, because the electoral process becomes an expensive process, and that is where we begin to lose our direction. So as I speak today, one of the greatest qualifications in African politics is the size of your pocket. You know, in 1995, the then Tanzanian former head of state, Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere, was invited by his party, Chama cha Mapinduzi, to speak about who was to be the leader to succeed his successor, Ali Hassan Mwinyi. He took his audience down memory lane. He reminded his audience that when they led the nation from colonization, the prime motivator was that they would liberate their people. They were servant leaders, he said. Speaking of Tanzania, he said, we met in Arusha and came up with the Arusha Declaration. And in the Arusha Declaration, we said that in order to be a leader, there must be some ideals that govern you. And there must be some taboos which you must never embrace in order to be a true leader. He said that in those days when you joined politics and you had a lot of money, the people would ask, where have you gotten the money from? He reminded his audience that in those days, when you went to the public and you appeared to have more money than you could legitimately explain, the electorate would say, you are a thief, and they would not elect you. But he regretted in 1995 that things had changed and that the major qualification was how much money you had. And the more money you had, the more attractive you are to the electorate. In other words, the cancer of money and the politics of money and money bags reared its ugly head after the advent of multi-party politics. And I want to say that is now comfortably sitting in the bedrooms and in the sitting rooms of our political parties. How can we liberate ourselves from it? And what is it? You know, what I'm about to say is neo-Marxist, but I'm not myself a Marxist, and I've never been one. But the Marxists had beautiful slogans, one of which was, the safety of the bourgeois demands that the proletariat be kept in the most profound ignorance. If I step it down into English, it simply means that the safety of the leader demands that the people be kept in poverty. And that is what happens in Africa. In Europe and America, during elections, they go around kissing babies and appearing to be nice. In Africa, they go around distributing rice and maize, appearing to be nice. In other words, the typical African politician impoverishes the people so that they may become attractive to them. And in order to be attractive, you must appear to have money. And this is why those in the political arena in many African countries have an insatiable appetite for things. Primitive accumulation of things is the rule in many African countries. A friend of mine once corrected me when I said that in Africa there is corruption. He said, no, in Africa there is no corruption. Corruption presupposes there is some element of intelligence in theft. What we see in Africa is looting and theft on an industrial scale. And what I'm saying is not new to us. I never knew myself that there is any magic in the ballot box, that today, if I'm a pauper, upon being elected as a councillor or a member of parliament, suddenly my life changes dramatically. In fact, you younger people are now in the business of betting whether one English football team will beat the other, which I discourage. That is not where the jackpot lies. The jackpot lies in you are being elected a member of parliament in many African countries. If you are elected a member of parliament or a councillor in many African countries, that is your passport to El Dorado, the land of gold. And the reason why that appetite is ever so sharpened, the members of parliament who are here will tell you that when they want to retreat to their rural homes like they will on Friday, they cannot just walk into their rural homes. There will be droves of people waiting for them. And when their cars are seen, they say, behold, the mobile ATM has arrived. Behold.
When I talk about to political island, that's what I mean here in the Blue Sky View. On Radio Kampala, we always bring for you the powerful men or women of God. Oh gosh. We always bring powerful men and women here in the political arena platform. Understand? This is a Blue Sky View political arena. A fresh Monday. I told you this is a fresh week. You're gonna feel it right. I told you this radio is brought to you by Swifini Uganda. Swifini, they are the official sponsor of the Blue Sky View on Radio Kampala.
You're the reason I live. You're the air that I breathe. Your spirit covers all the earth with power in your word. We exalt thee in our worship, God of all the earth, Alpha Omega, Adonai. We bow before thee. Chukwuanile. You're the God of all the earth. You're awesome. Ibela, Odiranya de Kagi.
Amen.